Page 552, Chapter 36, Human Being and Creation. It came to pass that Emmanuel taught of the human being and of the creation as he went eastward with the caravan. And he spoke and said, quote, "The human beings should look upward to the stars, for majestic stillness and sublimity rule there. As though by brazen or iron regulation, the unending and timeless changes take place there over days, months, or moons, years, and beyond for hundreds of years, and many thousands of years, and again many thousands of years, or millions and milliards / billions of years. The human beings, however, should also look downward upon the earth, for there, as well, is creational activity, and timeless becoming and passing and life, toward ever new coming into being. Where the nature is left to itself, true greatness and dignity and beauty rule all around in consonance or harmony. But where traces of human regulation are at work, there pettiness, indignity, and ugliness testify to alarming dissonance or disharmony. The human being, however, who, with head held high, calls him or herself the highest, or crown of the creation, is not cognizant of the creation and sets it on a level with human beings. But the human being will not go far, even if he or she has tamed the fire and rules the earth. Without a doubt, human beings will grasp or learn to overcome water and air and the firmament or outer space, but in the process they will not comprehend, or unlearn, to recognize the creation. So they will not recognize the creation above them or its laws and recommendations. Thus they will also forget to seek the truth, the knowledge, the love, the deference, the life, the discernment, or logic, true freedom, the wisdom, the consonance, or harmony, and peace. And they will not comprehend, or unlearn, to live peacefully as a human being among human beings. Their battle cry will be fight, for they will want to attain might through violence, or Gewalt. But when they believe they have might in their hands, they will use it for enslavement, and for cruelty or torture, and for bloodshed, for exploitation and inhumaneness, for infamous action or felony, and deviation, or a badly getting out of the control of the good human nature. They will speak of honor, freedom, and of knowledge, but in truth, these will only be hypocrisy, coercion, and confused teachings. Thus, in the time to come, or future, the human being will lose his or her appearance, or face, and he or she will display an evil and false covering of the face, or mask of the falsehood. Many a one, or many, will become a blood animal or beast, and each of them will spend the earthly days without knowledge and unscrupulously. The human striving and reflecting will be directed only toward addiction, or acquisition, and might and lust, and addiction and greed, as well as toward advantage, avarice, and heartlessness. With their power of thought or intellect, human beings will wrongly lead, or wrongly arrange, wrongly form, wrongly direct the things of this world in order to make them subservient, regardless of the fact that in doing so they break the laws of the nature and destroy nature itself in many ways. They will no longer trust the timeless truths which have been given or anchored in the laws of the nature since old time, or since time immemorial. Through their self-delusion, or self-deception, they will find more value in the human teachings of cognition or sciences in the time to come or future than in all values of the laws and recommendations of the nature and the creation. In their confusion, the human beings will believe in this confused, self-thought-up, pathetic, and false impression of the life, or view of life, which will be produced through confused teachings of the cults or religions and sects, and through determinations of false human laws and changes in the structures of the rule in the lands, or change of the mightful ones of state. Because the human beings will no longer comprehend, or will unlearn, to know their own inner core nature from the creational point of view, they will compel their lives by external means, according to their confused wills, and will create descendants in excess, or overpopulation, whereby the structure of the world and the nature, and even much life and the order, will be destroyed. Through the use of infamous action, or felony, and offense, or criminality, and by deceitful means of all kinds, they will also delude, cheat, and exploit their fellow human beings, and the world, unto its ends, or entire world. And wherever there will still be a remnant of trust and truth, they will change it into distrust and untruth, and in so doing they will, however, get farther and farther away from the true life. Thus, they will also lose sight of the principle of the oldest wisdom, which states that the life is the measure of all things, or the highest value, of the existence, as it is given by the laws of the creation. But the time will come for the human being when he or she will be forced to turn around and reacquaint themselves with the timeless values of the life. But if the human being does not act in this manner, then the human being and the nature and the world will pass away. And it will be that the number of human beings unto the ends of the world will come over, or get out of control, to such an extent that the nature and the weather, or climate, will suffer from it and break down, because every law of the nature will be disturbed, and its order will break down. And initially, only a few human beings will know that the human beings live not only on the earth, but also in the endless expanse of the firmament, or outer space universe, and that the human beings live not only in the graspable, or material world, but his or her spirit in them, or spirit form, reaches into another and fine, or fine fluidal, world that cannot be grasped by the ordinary, unsmooth, or coarse senses. The other, the fine, or fine fluidal world, however, is the true home of the spirit in the human being, or spirit form, part piece of creation spirit, which is why human beings should try without ceasing to broaden and deepen their knowledge, the love, the truth, the discernment or logic, true freedom, genuine peace, the consonance or harmony, and the wisdom, so that the spirit in the human being or spirit form may be nearly fulfilled, or relatively, absolutely fulfilled, and lifted up into its true home, and be one with the creation. Truly I say to you, those who understand the truth of this message, and attain cognition and wisdom, will hence awaken to a bond or obligation of aligning their lives with their determination of the timeless change toward the creation. When human beings are honest and seek thus for the truth, they will not hold any preconceived opinions or judgments beforehand, or prejudices. The wise human beings are knowing and are aware of the law and the recommendations of the timeless flow of the timeless change, and therefore they endeavor to adjust to the great course of events and of progress, because they acknowledge the laws and recommendations of the creation, namely, that the cycles of the existence must be completed through the determination of the laws. Wherever life reveals itself, it is based upon the law of the invisible mystery that brings about the timeless change. But human beings, who disregard the timeless and imperishable laws and truths, and do not acknowledge these, will take upon themselves the dire consequences. Lies and hatred will blind such human beings and even entire peoples, so they will rush into the abyss of their own ruin. And a blind and evil rage of the killing and the destruction will come over many human beings. And a hero will be one who is regarded as the greatest bringer of death and destroyer. Vicious ambivalence will permeate the thoughts of the human beings, and a dividedness will no longer be able to be a whole. Thus, there will be no fulfilling or advancement in the lives of the ambivalent, for they will become evil and brutalized killers or murderers and destroyers. But as long as non-fulfillment, or no advancement, reigns in the life, the human beings must also bear the consequences, which are given as illness and misery, unfairness and privation, and strife and discord, and also servitude and slavery. And it will also manifoldly be that confused cult behavior, or confused actions by religions and sects, will prevail, and that the exploitation of the believers will occur up to bloodshed and death. And unto the ends of the world, or worldwide, wars will go forth in great numbers through the cults, or many wars will be caused by the religions and sects. So may the human being be sure to wake up, for only that which is timeless and imperishable, so the laws and recommendations of the creation, is of permanence, of truth, and of wisdom, as the laws of the creation state, and so it is.